We're learning here the Musar from Chok L'Yisrael Parashat Terumah for Tuesday. And here in the Musar it's been mentioning the idea of Anava, which means of humility. So it brings here Ve'tana Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. He was taught, he quotes here from a Gemara, Masechet Avodah Zarah, Masechet Sotah, that says Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair Omer, Pinchas ben Yair used to say, Zeirut mevi'ah lidei zrizut. What is zeirut? Is caution. For the person to be scrupulous, to be careful about his actions. So zeirut, when a person is cautious, mevi'ah lidei zrizut, it brings the person to zeal, to alacrity, to quickness in fulfilling the commandments. And what is an example of the opposite of zeirut? Is somebody that said that's blindfolded and he's driving down the road. He's not being cautious. You have to pay attention to where you're walking, where you're going. You might bump into things, into the walls. But unfortunately, many people go through life without being cautious with their actions. So the first step that Pinchas ben Yair speaks about is first is zehirut, is to be cautious in everything that we do, to pay attention to what we're doing, how we're doing it. And that caution will bring a person to a quickness in fulfilling mitzvot. This is rizut. Uzrizut mevi'ah lidei nekiyut. And when a person has zeal, has quickness, alacrity in doing mitzvot, and he realizes that the importance of the mitzvah, so when there's an opportunity to do mitzvah, he's not lazy about it, he gets to it right away. That approach will bring him to the next step. And what is the next step? Is nekiyut, which means cleanliness. It's cleanliness not just in terms of physical, but cleanliness in thoughts. The person will be clean in general, in terms of his being, his person. Oh, then if he continues and persists in that cleanliness, when kiyut mevi'ah lidei tahara, so that cleanliness brings him to purity. These are levels, steps one above the other. So the purity is a higher step than cleanliness. And then when he persists in purity, that will lead him to what? Tahara mevi'ah lidei prishut. It brings him to prishut. Prishut is abstinence. He's abstaining from certain things. A person can abstain from overeating, from over-drinking, from some of the pleasures of this world. This will be a next step that will come as he reaches to higher levels of spirituality. He's going to go from purity to abstinence. And once a person persists in that abstinence, uprishut lidei kedusha. So abstinence from the pleasures of this world. Of course, Hashem gave us things to enjoy, but there is a measure in everything that we enjoy. Everything that we partake in, there should be done with measure. And part of the measure is abstinence. They say it's more difficult for a person to refrain from finishing his plate and leaving some in his plate than even to refrain from not. In other words, fasting is difficult for a person. For a person, once he enjoys something, to abstain from more of it, that is even more difficult. But a person persists in that quality of being able to abstain, it would lead him to what? To kedusha. Kedusha, which means holiness. And persisting in kedusha lidei anava. And the kedusha, when a person persists in holiness, in the qualities of the righteousness of a holy person, then it will bring him to another level which is higher. And what is the level that is higher? Anava, humility. So high is the level of humility. And humility is above all the other previous steps. When a person persists in humility, it will lead him, it will bring him to to having the divine spirit with him. Ruach Hashem Elokim, Alai Gomek, what's here, Pasuk, that the God's Spirit was upon him, and here the end of the pasuk there indicates humility. So high is this level of humility. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.